welcome to Vibe Cafe. This is a show where we have interesting conversations that are sometimes spontaneous and controversial. My name is Lorraine, and as always, I have my co host, the beautiful Oge.
I am Oge, and it's such a pleasure to be here. I feel really happy, and you're looking really cool
Oh,
in that black.
thank you, bringing the Mama Africa vibes.
Yeah,
Loving
that's
it.
true.
But yeah, today's show is going to be so packed. We've
Yeah.
got the movie review, we've got the games, and we're having two special guests in the studio to talk about something very, very important. If you want to find out who our guests are and what we're going to be talking about, then stay with us. We'll be right back after this break, so don't go anywhere. This is Vibe Cafe. Welcome back to Vibe Cafe. Like I said, today we're going to be having a very interesting conversation. We have two amazing guests, and that's because we're talking about something very important in society. We're talking about fathers, the role they play in society, why they should be celebrated, and even some of the challenges. And we're having this conversation with our two amazing guests. The first guest here is Mr. Nana Otto. He is a father, grandfather, and media practitioner. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Also with us here is Mr. Ekon Paul. He is a father also. Welcome very much, sir. It is such a pleasure to have you here.
Good to have you guys. So today, like I said, we're talking about Father's Day, and we all know the role fathers play in the society, in our lives generally. And I just want us to start this conversation talking about what the day is all about. Can you explain what Father's Day is all about and what we should look forward to?
The cradle of society is the family.
All right,
The cradle of society is the family. And in the family, we have the mother, the father. I mean, these two make up what we refer to as parents. Parenting, to a large extent, is a function of the quality of the two persons that make up the parents of the individual. And so if you take it from that standpoint, you realize that the father has a very strong role to play in every family, you know. And so if I expand that a little further, you will also discover that the father, one, has that proverbial father figure in a family, that person that you look up to and say, oh, your father is there, and the name of the family stems from the name of the father's name, and so he does everything to protect the image of the lineage where he comes from. That trickles down to every member of his own immediate family. And so, when it comes to providing for the family, in our African society, the honors lie heavily on the father. The father is looked up to for the purpose of providing for everybody. When I say provide, it cuts across all facets of provision. The daily, give us our daily bread, the daily bread aspect of it, education of the children, bringing them up in the appropriate manner children should be brought up. All of those must be superintended over by the father. And so when you dedicate a day, when society decides to dedicate a day for fathers, I think we are really, it couldn't have been any less, than that. You know, the idea of having a day known as Father's Day couldn't have been anything less than that. If you put it on a scale, on a balance, the role a father plays in a family and why there should be overwhelming need to have a day cut out to celebrate these persons that, remember, these are the persons that God created first before, as an afterthought. You remember there should be an Eve.
true.
You know, so if you put all of those together, you will see that the significance of a Father's Day can hardly be overemphasized.
All right, I completely agree with you, that there is a need to celebrate fathers because they do a lot of work. But now that leads me to the question, is there a right or proper way of celebrating fathers? If, say, for instance, I want to celebrate my father on Father's Day, how should I go about it?
I would rather try to be personal. You know,
Okay.
let me not be hypothetical. Let me be real down to earth on this matter. I would want the way I want my children, my grandchildren to celebrate me. May not necessarily be the way some other person would want. So I zero in on myself. The way I would want me as a father to be celebrated is to be appreciated on not just on a particular day, but on preferably on daily basis. And my appreciation, the appreciation I'm talking about, is not gifts, it's not appreciation by way of gifts or whatever. Appreciation of simply realizing that, oh, one, this guy is sacrificing for me, daddy is sacrificing for us, or daddy has some kind of principles, and the only way I can honor him is to try to keep to the principles, the precepts of how he's leading me up as a child. So to me, the way you can celebrate me is to believe in me, to do those things I say you should do, and move along with my do's and don'ts. You know, so that is the kind of celebration I would want. Not really. Well, down the road, if the children become well stabilized and are having it through in life, and they decide to show some token of appreciation, be it in any form, there's no problem with that. But for me, what is basic is that I would want to proudly say, this is my daughter, this is my son, by way of his behavior. Just aside, the other day we went for I went for prize giving day in my son's school. Unfortunately, all the prizes were done and none came to my own son. I wasn't particularly happy about that, you know. So he didn't celebrate me as far as I'm concerned. I, as a father, wasn't celebrated. The way he would have celebrated me is if he had maybe the best in mathematics and blah blah blah, and Peter Nana is mentioned, and you wouldn't know how much I would have been celebrated.
Oh, I would like to know, do you feel as a father that there are some things you would have done differently compared to fathers of those days?
If you want me to do a comparison between the way I was raised up by my father, because you said fathers of those years, the way I was parented and the way I am parenting my children is a world of difference. A world of difference. I must say this. We were brought up in such a way that the word father, your dad, invoked some element of threat. I don't know, fear and all of that. But it's not really in all cases, you know. I remember at a time growing up, when we were about to attend primary school, in those days, your right hand has to touch your left ear. Mine, perhaps because of this, I had a very big head as a little kid. Because of that, my hand delayed in touching the ear, implying therefore that it took some time before I went to school. Remember, I had a parent, one was a teacher. And so it took some time. What it meant therefore that my mates were in school and I was in the village running around with with other ones. On one particular day, I remember I killed a dog. Some dogs were crossing with a friend. We were trying to see who will pin that down. We were stoning the dog until I got. My friends were failing in doing that until I got the head of the dog. Behold, the dog died. Well, a woman saw us while all of this was going on, and so what happened is that we ran away. When we discovered that the dog had died, we ran away. The woman picked up the dog, went to the owner of the dog, gave it to her. In the evening, she brought the dog and dropped it in front of her house. Oh, your son has done this. She has bought a meat for you. So unfortunately for me, my mother was there. My mother got a cane and beat the hell out of me, and that was it. Some other time, we had catapults, and so, a head of sheep we were crossing, and we were trying to, who will hit accurately. As it were, I got the head of a sheep, and the sheep died. Somehow, the owner brought it like the dog of the other day to the house. So my dad was there, and he dropped the son has done them. When I saw them, I ran behind the door to hide myself. As it were, my father dropped it there. Your son did this. My father got incensed. What the hell are you talking about? The Igwe of this town had said nobody should allow the goat or sheep to lose. That you should titer it somewhere, feed your goat, and you left. That let's go to the Igwe. So the man knew the implication of going to the Igwe. So he left, left with his sheep. Then my father came back and said, my son, don't aim at the stomach. Don't aim at the head next time. Aim at the stomach. I accepted. I now did the comparison. I killed a dog. My mother almost killed me. Here I am. I killed a sheep, and I got a pat on the back from my dad. My son, don't aim at the head. Aim at. And so from that point, I became very close to my dad. Loved him. But that is not to say that is the same thing with all children. What I'm saying really in effect is that the way we were brought up as children was such that the mental image of your dad was that of a monster. Do a little thing and you are in for it. Yeah. But that is not the same thing now. We now have situations where your child will tell dad, no, I disagree with you, and it goes, it passes. It couldn't have happened that you go into a situation where your dad drops a word and you say, no, dad, it won't go this direction.
Do you think that is a good thing? Do you think that is a good development?
You know what? The way I was brought up, I think as of today, I must consider myself, by all ramifications, successful, so to speak. True. The training I got then, fine. But right now, it's becoming very, very difficult, exceedingly difficult to be too sure of the direction of your child. If you are strict the way we come up, as children, you realize that society, environmental interference, society, peer group, and all of that still affects your own child, the way influences your child, the way you wouldn't have wished he or she is influenced. And so there is a whole lot of interference in parentage right now, which to me leads to a whole lot of antisocial behaviors. You see it all over everywhere. Junkies, children turning into junkies and stuff, like that. So if you ask me, I think the old order is still better than what we are doing now. Some of us struggle to ensure that children grow up the right direction.
All right, Mr. Paul, we've been talking about fathers, the roles they play, and we can't talk about that without talking about sacrifices. You have a very interesting story, inspiring story, and you've made certain sacrifices for your children. Can you share your story with us?
I came to Lagos 2014. After my children in the village. Around October, someone called me, said my wife left my children, come up to stay again with them. I said, what? I just give them time before a week, 2 weeks. I still the whole village said, is this coming back? They said, no. Okay, from there I sent my mother, because that time my mother there with us. She went to the village and brought them. Because when they brought them, I sent them to school. That time my first daughter is primary 5.
Okay.
Why the small one is enter primary 2. But now I so much thank God, all of them is secondary school.
Wow.
Okay, why I try to say this? If I wait, okay, let me return them to village. Consign me. I'm doing it myself. I know some men, they did do it. They say, okay, and a woman, they stay with children. But my own, when I carry them come, I must try my best to cook for them before we go work. Sometimes I will cook maybe in the night, I don't sleep, sitting born.
Wow.
So if I prepare 4 o'clock, bath, then do everything finished, okay, cook for them morning and afternoon till I came back. When my daughter entered secondary school from the place where my mother living, we used to come for us 5 o'clock. I will prepare while others will prepare themselves to go around our side. Sometimes 5 o'clock, and you must wait for me till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the midnight before we went to the house. No matter what, when I came back, you still enter market to prepare food against the next day. I did this thing because I love them.
True.
I did this thing because I'm a father.
True.
I did this thing because of tomorrow.
True.
Why I try to do this is that if I want to follow others, men, I cannot succeed. Sometimes I want to chop life. It won't mean anything. That's why I try to something for my area. I used to tell some people, say, boss, you see this your children, if you don't put harm, train them well, they are doing themselves. Don't say everything, mother. Don't say everything. It's your own foundation. It is. When I take them, okay, now, before next year, I thought that the first one will finish secondary school.
Whoa.
The upper year, the second will finish secondary school. Why this twins is now here stood going to? So I face challenges. I so much thank God the person working. There's nothing like disappointment.
Wow.
The little they pay me, yes, I thank God. No matter the Nigeria be is a challenge, no matter the condition. So the thing was got to say to tell all the parents, no matter what or whether you get or you don't get, focus with your children.
Wow.
Focus with your children. It's your own. It's your own blood. It's your own tomorrow. That's the only thing.
Right, thank
So
you so much.
beautiful.
That's inspiring. I even
True.
heard you're not even sharing the full story, because I heard, there were times where you get money, get paid for the job, and because you need to send your children to school, you not even buy clothes for yourself. It's deep. We can literally talk about it, we go on and on. And it's very inspiring what you're doing.
Exactly.
It's very inspiring what you're doing as well for your
Exactly.
children. And we just want to show our appreciation on behalf of Vibe Cafe and the production company Viewmark. We are presenting this check to you. Because you've talked about the challenges, and we really
True.
like seeing stories like this, or hearing stories like this, and seeing fathers who step up to the plate, and do their role and do what they're supposed to do in society, so that the
Yeah.
children who are the leaders of tomorrow can, grow up with the opportunities that they, are supposed to have. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, Vibe Cafe continues. We're going to do the movie review and the games as well, so don't go anywhere. This is Vibe Cafe. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Vibe Cafe. This is when we get to talk about a movie. Today we're going to be reviewing Last Seen Alive, a movie that was directed by Brian Goodman. Now, this is an action thriller. Absolutely loved it. The story was absolutely amazing. A story about a regular man, real estate developer, going on a trip with his wife, and then she got kidnapped, and he goes out of his way to make sure that she is back home safe and alive. Loved it. The story was great. The acting was great. Gerard Butler was the lead character, or he played the lead character, and his acting was fantastic. The lady who played his wife was also great as well. The only thing that got me a bit thinking towards the end is, how is this regular guy performing all this magic, shooting gun, character?
I also thought about that too.
Yeah.
And another thing that pissed me off, like that I didn't enjoy, was the fact that there was just this too much flashback and all of that. It was just
Really?
Exactly.
I thought those helped, build what kind of relationship they had, because
yeah,
I had
that was the
questions,
intent. Yeah, but I just felt it just took me out of. I love the whole action.
You just
like,
want
just
let
go
fight,
straight,
fight till the
keep
end.
me straight on it. Yeah, that was the only thing that I didn't enjoy about it. But generally, I
It was
enjoyed
good.
The, movie,
The actions
yeah.
were great. The
was
cinematography was
cool.
great. Location
Yeah.
made sense. Styling made
Sound was
sense.
also
The
nice.
sound also made sense. On a
Yes.
scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this film an 8. I think it was really
I'll
good.
give it a solid 8 too. Yeah.
All right.
So-
Seems like we're seeing eye to eye. You can
Yeah.
go see the movie for yourself, and you might like it just as much as we did.
Yeah.
Let us know on social media at Vibe Cafe Show what you think about the film, if you ever get to watch it. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll play the game. So don't go anywhere. This is Vibe Cafe. We'll be right back. If you're just joining us, this is a part of the show where we get to play a game, and today we're playing a game called Fill in
The blanks.
It's a pretty simple game. The rules are simple. We have cards here with words written on them. So we have maybe like the first letter or something written, and then we have to fill in the blanks. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Sure?
I'm
All right,
ready.
let's go into it.
Okay.
This is your word.
Okay.
The word is actually a capital city, and
Okay.
it starts with an R.
Capital city.
Yes.
In Lagos or
Capital city around the world, and it starts with
Okay.
an R.
R. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have no idea.
All right, it's done. I think it's Rome.
Rome. Rome. That's true.
Ah.
Okay. Yours is
Country
a country. Yes.
that has an X.
Yes, in between.
Lexus.
I think it's like the only country that has an X.
It's not even a country, it's a car.
Mexico. Okay. Like just one.
Okay, so this is a body part and it has SMC.
Okay, this has to be my stomach.
All right. Let's see. Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Okay, and this is an instrument. This is an instrument. Is this a musical instrument? Okay, yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
I really don't know what that is.
What is that?
I don't know this.
Clarinet, what is that?
What musical instrument
What
is this?
musical
Yeah, but you
instrument
failed
is
it though.
Okay. All right, so this is your word. It is a profession. What is it?
An engineer.
All right.
An engineer.
Let's go.
And this is an animal. What animal is this?
Penguin.
You're correct.
All
That was
right.
pretty cool.
All right, since like
Who
we
won?
have,
Who
you
won?
did 2-1. I got 1, you got 2.
I'm the queen always
All
taking
right.
the crown.
All right, all right.
But
So
it
that
was
brings
fun.
us to the end of today's show. Hope you enjoyed it just as much as we did
Yep.
playing the game and then even the topic of the day. We'll come back next week so we do this all over again. In the meantime, follow us on social media at Vibe Cafe Show. Follow me at Larry Nick, and
Follow me at Fab Malin.
until next time, bye bye.